Oh,
Alright, y'all, this is part 3 of my paranormal encounters. So now, some of these spirits, which I could feel too at times, they were my ancestors, and too, at moments. However, there are moments I done felt them climbing the bed. Like, if you ever felt like somebody's legs are buckling at the foot of your bed, I can, like, especially when I'm half asleep and half awake, I could feel it. You know what I'm saying? But nothing weird would happen to I, and I know I'm divinely protected, so wouldn't even trip off of that. Now, another, and I'm looking at my list because I had to write this out because it was from the time I was a youngin' all the way to now as an adult. So, okay, I was pregnant with my son, and when I was pregnant, I could really feel the paranormal encounters increase. And, when you're pregnant, there are a lot of different things happening strongly in the spirit realm that are spilling over here in the physical realm. So one night I was laying in the bed, and my youngest baby was in the bed too. And the eldest one, she had to been, I'm going to say like close to 13. Yeah, she was about to be 13. And so she was laying at the foot of the bed. Now, this time I would allow one of my siblings and her daughter to like spend a night at times or whatnot. And so I would leave the light on in the front room whenever they came in. So I'm laying there to the right. Now, the way my bed was, the door to my room was open. And I can see, I can see the, light in the hallway, a bit. So as I'm laying there, I'm resting. And I happen to open my eyes and I see somebody standing in the doorway. Not only did I see somebody, I saw a dark figure in a silhouette of my child who was sleeping at the foot of the bed. So I'm sitting up there like, wiping my eyes like, wait a minute. And when they noticed that I noticed them, they took off running. So I started taking off running after them. And as soon as I got in the hallway, like I'm following them, all of a sudden, they disappeared. I'm like, yo, I know I'm not tripping. I know what I saw, to the point. The silhouette of this dark figure looked so much like my child. Like she had clothes on and everything like her. Like, yo, if I would not have gotten up, if I was just laid in that bed, and if my child was not laying at the foot of that bed, I would have swore up and down it was her. However, my intuition would have kicked in, like, wait a minute, sit back. It would have, I would have started receiving some information, some downloads from the Most High. You dig, in my spirit team. However, I sat there and I was like, wait a minute. And I even told her, I said, I saw a spirit that looked just like you. I saw a dark figure. I said, and girl, word is bond. Had you not been laying at the foot of that bed, I would have felt like it was you, and especially had I like chased it. So I'm like, I know I'm not tripping. I know it's something going on, especially strongly paranormal, to the point where when they recognized, I recognized that they were standing there, then they took off. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, wait a minute. Okay, cool. So then another time something happened. She was in the hallway. So seeing my child in the hallway, and I'm talking to her, and I saw her go in the bathroom. And I saw her. I stepped in the kitchen a quick second, step back out. And I was like, Naya, I was like, you can get out the bathroom now. She said, I'm not in the bathroom. I'm in my room. So you didn't go in the bathroom? She said, no, ma'am. And she came out of her room, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? We got parallel universes working together, coinciding together, side by side. Like, what is going on? And I'm like, all right, okay. I know I'm not tripping, but all right, cool. So then, fast forward, my baby, who is now 5, when she was 3, going into 4, which is about the same age around my eldest, was seeing different entities, spirits, even angels, demons, however we want to go with it, right? She said, Mommy, I see monsters and they look green. Sometimes they look blue, but they look green. Now, my relevant relative of a mother, she tried to downplay it and try to act as if I should be downplaying it. And the one thing when it comes to my babies, I listen, I hearken. You understand? Don't ever shut the youth up, because those are the moments they are designed to tell you something. And then it's grown folks, right? It's be quiet, shut up, don't say nothing. Because that's how I grew up. Be quiet, don't say nothing, speak when you're spoken to, all of that. You know what I'm saying? And I listen to everything that they say, because I know it means something. And then when I feel it in the pit of my gut, like I am now, like I know, especially my baby is telling the truth. So around this time, what's funny is they were advertising this Mayan exhibit. Like, you are on, what's that, Highway 70 going north. Before you pass 75th Street, where the old Satchel Paige Elementary School is, you will see this billboard every time. And every time I saw it, like, I felt it calling to I. Then I remind y'all, I did a past life regression meditation going into the Akashic Records the summer of 2016. And during that process, finding out I was a man who lived in the Maya era. So when I passed this billboard, fast forward, I'm seeing this billboard at the end of 2022, going into 2023. I felt called every time I would see what they would call the pyramid. But for some reason in my spirit, I kept hearing the ancestors say, you got to go to the temple, like the actual temples in Mexico. You understand? Because at first I was going to go to the exhibit. I was like, okay. Then it was like, no, go to the actual grounds to where it is at, because then I'm going to really feel the energetic connection. So one point where I was watching my babies through this tablet, I took a picture of them. They were holding hands, and I was like, oh, this is cute. But get ready for part 4, y'all.